It is 6 a.m. I'm in the middle of a field with a step counter because today I'm attempting 100,000 steps. I should probably get on with it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So as I ventured into the darkness with my nose leading the way, I was blissfully unaware I'd just begun my hardest challenge to date. And it wasn't long before I already surpassed 1,000 steps. Which means we are officially 1% of the way there, and it's only been about 10 minutes. It's gonna be a walk in the park. Oh, how wrong I was. Anyway, I continued to venture through the darkness, one step in front of the other, my nose continuing to look as weird as ever. Seriously, what is wrong with it? And eventually hints of dawn began to materialize in front of us. Look at this beautiful sunrise. At this stage of the challenge, walking was still very easy, and I was just excited to see the sun come up. Hi there. Guess what? Becky, get a look at this. You see it? Can you see it? What's it to say, Becky?
5,000!
5% already. It's been about 48 minutes. There is a beautiful sunrise happening behind us. Very excited about that. And we've done just short of 4 kilometers as well, so just going to keep powering through. But at the minute, I'm having a delightful time and very excited about that sunrise. All right, I've got steps to do, so I'll catch you in a bit. See you later. Now 5,000 steps is all well and good, but let's remember that took me 48 minutes and I still have 95,000 steps to go. I was way too optimistic going into this. So you know that big beautiful red sunrise that's been building up, being very exciting, waiting for the anticipation of it just brightening the sky and being beautiful? Well, we've turned the corner, it's gone. It's just completely white sky everywhere. I don't think there's any sign of any sun for like several hours. Oh well. Even with my dreams of a beautiful sunrise destroyed, the bright white sky did wake up the wildlife, and it was amazing to see so many birds all starting their day at the exact same time. Well, over 7,000 steps currently done, and so far, this has been very easy, and I'm curious at what point it's gonna get challenging. You see, this is not the first walking challenge I've done. Back in November, I did 250,000 steps in 1 week, but that worked out about 35,000 per day, which was still a big challenge. So to now attempt 3 times more than that is a little bit scary. We also filmed this early February. It was about 5 degrees, so I was getting nippy. I'm getting a little chilly, so I think I'm going to do the first jog of the day. It'll help with steps a little bit, but primarily it'll just warm me up, so... Bye guys. Now I just want it on record, my jog doesn't normally look as weird as this. I think it's the bag on my back, the cold, and just the fact that I've been up since 5 a.m. Let's all just move past it together. This is primarily a walking challenge, but I did plan to do a few spouts of jogging just to speed things up and hopefully get the challenge done in about 12 hours. Spoiler alert, it took way more than 12 hours. I was now a little bit more warmed up, approaching my first 10k steps. Nature was still doing its thing. Listen to how cute this robin sounded. And I was far too enthusiastic considering what was to come. I dare say I was getting a little bit silly. First huge milestone coming up right now. Wait for it. Go on, hang on, hold it. Here we go. Yeah, 10,000 steps, woo! 10% of the way there. It's been fine. I say as I'm not. I've got the very first little bit of heel pain on my left foot, but everything else is completely fine. Only 10% of the way there and already experiencing a little bit of heel pain. That is not a good sign of things to come. If you're curious, I did do a bit of preconditioning for this challenge. I was averaging 13,000 steps a day for the week leading up to this, which I know is a long way from 100,000, but honestly, it's a pretty difficult thing to train for because even 13,000 steps a day takes at least a couple of hours. Big moment. First drink of the day. Very exciting. Bloody hell. Hang on. Jeez. Alright, here we are. Get a close-up of this, Becky. You ready? I'm sorry, I don't know why I drank it like that. As I said, I was being a bit silly. At this point in time, I was still capable of the feeling of joy. I breezed past 15,000 steps, saw more cute farm/wildlife. Whoa, look at the birds. There's so many birds. Look at that. Oh my bloody hell. Seriously, that is a lot of birds. Then I thought the sun was going to come out. I think the sun might be coming out. Ooh. The sun did not come out, and then this happened. Oh, I'm still in the mud. I got too excited about the sun. Nearly sprained my ankle. Oh no. Does this count as steps? No. And then after making it through my near-death experience, I was at another milestone. Alert, alert, big juicy milestone coming up. Wait for it. Wait for it. I can't see it. It's flipped for me. What is it? What's it on? Are we close? I think that means I'm like 5 away, right? Here we go. Wait for it. Yeah! 20% of the way there. How am I feeling? That ache in my heel is gone, but I now have a new ache in both of my ankles. But it's very minimal. So 20% there, 80% to go. It's been about 3 hours. We may have to do a bit of jogging. 20,000 steps, Becky.
Woo!
I still had a nice amount of energy here. I was just ploughing on, enjoying the scenery, loving walking through the forests. Just one step in front of the other, this is gonna be easy. But things were starting to slip a little bit. I think probably because I was checking my step counter a little bit too frequently. The joys of hitting 20,000 steps have become somewhat short-lived, as it's been about 20 minutes, and I'm only on, get a look at it. What is it? What are we on? What's it say?
22,700.
22,700. It feels like we've been stuck at 22,000 forever. This does not bode well for the rest of the challenge. Despite this, I did the only thing I could. I just kept on walking. We did bump into a very cute spaniel, which definitely lifted our spirits.
He loves the frost.
He's so cute. And then eventually, 25,000. Quarter of the way there. Woo! Not gonna lie, I don't know what it was about that last 5,000 steps, but it felt like it never ended. My God. Right, my back's starting to ache a bit. My aches in my ankles have just gotten slightly worse, but it's all still kind of okay. I think we're gonna be fine, but I am feeling it a bit now. But we have been walking for 3 hours, 44 minutes. I was at a point now where the fatigue was definitely setting in, but we did come quite prepared. That bag I've been waggling about all day was full of cereal bars, fruit, just general things to give me energy. I also needed my first wee of the walk. I don't know why Becky filmed this. I'm actually quite annoyed about it.
I don't know why he's running with his hands in his pockets. Oh, sneaky.
But my bladder was emptied successfully, and before I knew it, it was time for another fun milestone opportunity. Oh, okay, I am very close to 333,333 steps, so I'm going to try and stop on exactly that number. Let's do this. I need to just go 13 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. No, 33,334. No, that's so sad. But it means that we've now done a third of the total distance, which is an amazing milestone. We've done it without stopping. It's taken well over 4 hours, but we're now going to head back to base, which is the car, and we're going to have a couple of snacks, rest our feet. Yeah, Becky's very excited about it. We're going to rest our feet for like 5 minutes, and then we're just going to do the same again twice, but more fatigued. So we set off on our journey back to base camp. To confirm, base camp just means the place I parked the car. We did a little bit of jogging to get there faster. Why does my head do this when I run? I've got a perfect middle part. And our anticipation of a very well-deserved lunch grew stronger by the minute.
Sandwich, sandwich, sandwich,
sandwich, sandwich,
sandwich, sandwich,
sandwich, sandwich, sandwich.
Woo! Sandwich.
All right. Sandwich, sandwich.
Yay.
Becky. I was very happy to sit down for the first time in well over 5 hours.
Yay.
Oh. And embrace every moment of my sandwich. Sandwich, sandwich, sandwich.
Woo.
Now that I've stopped, my feet are tingling. But you know what? They feel okay. I'm hoping that the pain will stay at about this level the whole time. But I'm worried that from like 50,000 onwards, it's gonna start feeling really tricky.
Sandwich.
Sandwich. I chewed down on my grapes as a slightly broken man, knowing what was still to come. And after about 10 minutes, we started walking once again. Do you know what? I thought I would feel a lot worse when we started up that walk after having a little 10-minute break. But my legs feel okay. How are yours, Becky?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Well, there we go.
We've got this.
We've got this in the bag. It's going to be fine. What am I on? 35,900. What did you just say?
A walk in the park.
A walk in the park, on the road again. Don't know the next bit.
I can't wait to get on the road again.
Oh, God, I thought we were about to get run over. Leave all that in.
Whoa! Woo!
I think the sun is coming out. Very, very exciting. We've not seen it since that beautiful red sunrise this morning, but I'm seeing some glimmers through the trees.
It's peeking.
It's peeking.
It's peeking.
I'm running towards it. I enthusiastically waddled a bit further, and my prediction was indeed correct. Could it be? I've got a shadow, Becky. Whoa!
Whoa.
It's over there.
Oh yeah.
Yay. After 6 long hours of nothing but bright white sky, there was something kind of motivating about seeing the sun. I don't know if it's because it just makes everything look slightly prettier, but the sun was certainly a welcome companion on our adventure. Tell you what, Becky, thank goodness I brought me hat, eh? And before I know it, I sailed past 40,000 steps, meaning 40% of the journey was now complete. I trundled on through the landscape, taking in as much scenery and wildlife as I could along the way. I got some much needed vitamin D.
Oh!
Why does the sun make me sneeze, by the way? Does that happen to anybody else? Tell me I'm not the only one. We were 7 hours in and approaching 40 total kilometers walked. I was continuously refueling along the way with many different snacks. It did get a bit windy all of a sudden, which I was not a fan of. But then that calmed back down, and some cows came to say hello to me. Look how absolutely adorable they both are. I reluctantly said goodbye to the cows, and then, yes, you guessed it, I kept on walking. I walked this way, I walked that way. I briefly, unnecessarily walked on top of this wall, just because Becky thought it would look cool. Shout out to Becky in general, by the way, who's not only doing this challenge with me, but also filming it and getting so many delightfully pretty shots throughout the whole thing. It wasn't long before I reached another exciting milestone, not only in this challenge, but within my life in general. Hey Becky, did you know that the most steps I've ever done in my entire life was 44,387, which was during our previous walking challenge? Well, guess what? Look at how many steps I've done right now. It's 5 less than that. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The most steps I've ever done in my 28 years of existence on this planet.
Woo!
It is genuinely quite interesting to consider this may be the most steps I'll ever do in one day for the rest of my entire life. And I'm curious if you watching this video know how many steps is the most steps you've ever done in one day. And if you do, how many steps was it and what were you up to? Let me know in the comments. Yeah, in general, the discomfort I was feeling had kind of plateaued, and the main difficulty of this challenge was just becoming how long it actually takes to complete it. But then just as I was reaching a ginormous milestone, something went wrong. I'm so confused right now. So we were just about to hit a crazy milestone of 50,000. You can see that we are 50 away. I went to get my camera ready. My phone's gone. But I had it like 5 minutes ago. So I guess we're gonna have to hit 50,000, the halfway mark, while looking for my phone, which I've apparently dropped on the floor. How did we not notice? Where's my phone at? Did I put it somewhere else? Did I pass it to you? Where's it gone? Oh my god. 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98. 50,001! We're halfway! I've lost my phone, but we're halfway!
There it is!
Okay.
Yay!
I got it!
Woo!
How did that happen?
Now just the same again!
Yeah, now we just need to do everything that we've just done for the last 7 hours again. And it's currently 2 o'clock, so that means we'd be finished at about 9 o'clock. Sunset's at 5 o'clock. So we're gonna have to try and do a little bit of jogging so we can get a bit further ahead. But my feet do ache, I'm not gonna lie to you. Everything else feels fine, but my feet feel like they've been slammed against the ground 50,000 times. Which I guess makes sense. 50k was definitely a wake-up call for me and what I'd got myself into. When we were planning this video, I optimistically told Becky it would take about 12 hours and we'd be done by 6 p.m. There was literally no way this was happening. And with it being February, it would only be a few hours before the sun would start setting, meaning we'd be doing the most fatiguing part of this challenge in several hours of darkness where it's only gonna get colder. I remained positive though, and yes, you guessed it, it's another milestone. We have officially done the length of a marathon, which if you're interested is, Whatever that is, I can't see it. It's backwards for me. Becky, what does this say?
53,317 steps.
Wow, cool. And we did it in like 8 hours or something, which I think actually for mainly walking is a pretty good pace. The current plan was to return to base for a second time in order to replenish supplies. But first this dog flew past me, what a show off. And then after a short break, we do a lap of on and off jogging in order to try and get back a little bit of time. So we got back to the car and it was time for my first proper foot update. That's all new. And it's quite red on the heel too. My feet were clearly sore. Blisters were coming through. They were very red, even a little bit purple. And this was only going to get worse as we had 45,000 steps still to go. But this time I was prepared. But don't worry, because your boys come prepared. Blister plasters. I applied the plasters to my blisters and even added extra insoles to my shoes for added support. I reluctantly had to end my walk on my Apple Watch because the battery was about to run out. Nothing makes me feel older than watching myself attempt to end this activity. This is tragic. But hey, eventually I worked it out, and check out the incredible stats from the first half of this insane walk. Walking really is just an incredible way to burn calories. Anyway, it was now time for us to set off on our jog. It hurts me knee. Me knee hurts. My feet actually don't feel too bad at all, but me knee hurts. Despite my knee, I was very strong and brave, and we ended up running about 2.5 kilometers without stopping, which really surprised me. I thought that I would feel more exhausted, but we were okay. As you can see, the pedometer does still count the steps accurately when I'm jogging. Then for the next hour, we just did intervals of walking for about 5 minutes, and then jogging for about 5 minutes, and then back to the walking, then the jogging, the walking, the jogging. The sun was definitely getting lower in the sky, and after about an hour, I was pretty much done with the jogging, because I did not want to be too tired for the remaining 33,000 steps. It is 10 to 5 p.m, so the sun will be setting quite soon. We have currently done about 68,500 steps, which is epic, but I am feeling it. My feet do ache quite a bit. My knees hurting a little bit. My lips are all dry as well, and I'm quite hungry. But other than that, we'll be fine. I do wish we were finished though. Even though we've nearly done 70%, that feels like a big chunk and there's not much left. But that remaining 30% is 30,000 steps, which is still a lot more than most people will do in a day. And it'll... yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think it was starting to become apparent just how tired I was at this point. So as the sun was setting, which did look nice by the way, we headed back to the car for the third time for one last quick break to get some snacks, put on some lip balm, and psych ourselves up for our final 30,000 steps. Hour 11. We're very cold. We've refueled in the car, topped up on snacks and whatnot, but we've got back out and it's just so cold all of a sudden, and the sun is setting, and obviously we've got about 30,000 steps to do. What am I doing stood here? We should get on with it. Basically, right, it's probably going to be another 3 hours of walking, and most of that's going to be in the dark, so I've loaded back up on the torches and whatnot. Alright, let's get on with it, Becky.
I was going to wish you good luck, but I'm doing it.
Yes, good luck and praise be to us both, because spoiler alert, it was going to take more than 3 hours. The darkness began to enthrall us. Did I use that word correctly? I might be getting too dramatic with these voiceovers. It wasn't long before the moon was out. We don't have time to be filming the moon, Becky. We're going to get going. And it was officially time for the torches to return. It's officially time for the return of the torch. Oh my god. Throughout this adventure, we stuck at an average pace of about 12 minutes per kilometer, which is a pretty decent speed. And even though as it got darker and darker, it didn't feel like we were getting any slower, but it felt like the numbers on my pedometer were barely moving. I guess it's because the difference between 0 and 1,000 feels like a lot, whereas the difference between 70,000 and 71,000 feels like barely anything. It was starting to get late into the night, and I think judging by this clip, I was starting to lose it a bit. I am the human lighthouse. Sorry about that, everyone. I'm not sure what that was. Moving on, we eventually were 3/4 of the way there. Oh, 75,000. 3/4 of the way there, Becky. We can do this. It's taken so long. And from here on out, it was just grueling and boring. The progress felt so slow. It was basically pitch black, so there was nothing interesting to look at. Despite Becky's best efforts, I was just feeling miserable and done with it.
Smile.
No,
Smile.
I don't want to.
Just one little one. Yay.
But another long 45 minutes later, we passed 80,000. I can't see. I can't see what it's on. Oh, we've hit it.
Yay.
80%.
Yay.
Epic. Cool. Oh, the light's gone out.
See.
Help, Becky. There we go. Back. I'm so tired. Oh my god. So it's taken us about 45 minutes to go from 75. Becky, we've got to keep walking.
Oh yeah.
It's taken us.
Stood staring.
It's taken about 45 minutes to go from 75k to 80k. So by that maths, it could take us another 3 hours before we're at 100k. Please tell me that is not correct.
I think we've done something wrong.
We had not done any maths wrong, and that was indeed a fair estimation. I've made peace with the pain that my feet are in. The thing that's annoying is just how physically long this is going to take, because I'm just ready to get home. I want me bath, Becky.
I want my Prosecco.
I want me pizza.
Pizza.
I want my bed.
Nearly.
Nearly. It was pretty much just more of the same for the next hour and a half, 13 hours in. I just continued to stumble through the dark, putting my feet in front of each other. Don't point that thing at me. But eventually we hit one of our final milestones. 96, 97, 98, 99, 90,000. Oh.
10,000 left.
10,000 left, which is epic. But I'm going to be honest. I severely underestimated just how grueling this would be. Considering for the last 14 hours I'd covered nearly 60 kilometers, my body had actually held up not too bad. Yes, my feet had obviously been aching since about 20,000 steps onwards, but it was my final 15,000 steps that were the hardest. My feet were now really sore, and every step I was doing hurt. I think my ankles had swollen, so my shoes were less comfortable, and the soles of my feet just felt well and truly battered by everything they'd been through. It was now 3 hours later than the time I originally thought we'd finish, so it was 9 PM and almost starting to feel a little bit scary. But the milestones kept coming. We were getting closer and closer. 95,000. Ah, I dropped it.
No. Oh my god.
It's okay. It's okay.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, that was close. My pedometer.
Is it okay? Is it still working?
Yeah, we're still doing stuff.
I've been so sad.
I am so unbelievably ready for home. I'm miserable, truth be told. My feet and legs have both been in quite a bit of pain for the last 15 kilometers, so I just can't really walk fast anymore. But we are going to do it, Becky.
Hell yeah.
This is the home stretch now.
The home stretch.
I don't think the camera could see anything.
Sorry.
My recharged Apple Watch confirmed this is the furthest I'd ever walked. As we approached the conclusion, the elements started picking up, making things even more intense than they needed to be. Why has it got so windy? And we began celebrating the milestones at much smaller increments. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 98%.
2% left.
2% left.
2% left.
2% left. We got closer and closer. There we go. Okay, 1% left. Maybe like 10 minutes and we'll be done. And as we were almost about to finish, I barely had enough energy to even be excited anymore. I've got about 400 steps left. We are about 16 hours in, right? And we've done 76 kilometers. That's outrageous. Finally, the finish line was in sight. I'm a broken man.
How many steps left?
218.
218.
Yeah.
Then it's pizza time.
Yeah, me bath. This would absolutely not have been possible without the absolute machine that is Becky the camera woman. But finally, here we were, 99,990 steps later.
8,
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh my tip!
It's broken. It doesn't go any higher. But we've done it. Look, 1, 2. I've definitely done it. It's just flashing. Becky, could you hold this, please? Thank you. This was by far the most intense challenge I've ever done, and I'm so glad that I've done it now so that I never have to do it again. I was so exhausted, I couldn't even get up a small hill to get back to the car. But eventually we made it to the car. I was completely exhausted. Becky was annoyingly jolly. And when we got home, taking my shoes off was certainly a challenge. Quick warning, you're about to see some very gross looking feet. Even with the plasters, I still had multiple blisters and my feet had clearly been through a rough time. But the challenge was over. I had my bath, Becky had her Prosecco, and here are my insane stats for the full 16-hour ordeal. I really do not recommend this without heavy training, but despite the hardship, I'm glad we did it. And I want to keep up the walking challenges, so subscribe if you want to join me.